أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وصلى اللهم على محمد رسول الله وعلى أهل بيته أولياء الله لا سيما بقية الله واللعن على أعدائهم أعداء الله إلى يوم لقاء الله. اللهم كل وليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقادا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا تمتع فيها طويلا. One of our main rules in trading is that the trade and especially the item that we are buying should be fully known for us. So we shouldn't have any vague around it, surrounding it. For instance, if I go to buy, let's say, some rice, I can't just tell him, okay, I want this rice. How many kilos? What type of rice is, and etc. That should be known. So somebody might say, I'm pleased with that. I don't mind. I just want to buy it. You know? Yeah. But Islam, to prevent any problems, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, any disputes, alaikum salam rahmatullah, in the future, Islam comes and legislates a law. Jazakumullah bil khair, hayyakumullah. Legislates a law to prevent any types of dispute in the future. For instance, if you go to a fish pool, I don't know what you call it. In our narrations, we call it samakul ajam. You know, when they raise fish in pools?
Fish farms.
Fish farms, exactly. You go there and say, you see, okay, sometimes they raise the fish in the river. And I think they do that in Australia, in the sea. Some types of salmon, they raise them in seas. Can I buy them? Okay, I'm gonna buy this. How many fish they are, and etc. That should be known. Can I buy a horse of you that ran away from you? A pigeon that got dismissed for half a price? Hopefully I will get it one day. No. That should be known. Why? Because there is a rule, fundamental, I can say, in trading, that we're not allowed to buy or sell something that is not known for the buyer or seller. So, and they come to an extent that they say sometimes you need to taste the item so it can be known to you. For instance, when you buy almonds, you know, some almonds are bitter. So you don't know what it's bitter or not. He claims it is not, but you need to taste it. And you are allowed, and we have narrations about that, talking about that you are allowed. Not if he rejects, the owner. He might reject, and he might say, okay, I'm not gonna buy it, but I need to taste it. Even if you go to food shops sometimes, you see that some people taste the mandarin or this or that, and they are accepted, that the action is accepted by the owner of that shop. Because they need to taste it, they need to know whether it's sweet, bitter, you know, sour, and etc. So There is a narration which most of our scholars rely upon. I think up to Ayatollah Sayyid al-Khou'i, rahmatullah alayh, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Naha an-nabiyyu," or we have in our narration, "Naha an-nabiyyu an bay' al-gharar," that the Prophet prevent us from any trading that has any types of vague side, gharar. And then some scholars come and say, okay, this narration is not a Shia narration, the chain is not accepted. Okay. While some others say, okay, it is accepted because people like Al-Allam al-Hilli narrated that narration. And actually I wrote one of those types of narration in this book, when the Prophet ﷺ says, I think in this book or another book, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli," pray as you see me praying. So pray like me. What is the problem? Yeah, that this narration has been narrated in Sahih al-Bukhari, not our books. But Allam al-Hilli narrates that narration as well. And Allam al-Hilli is a great scholar that, close the door a little bit, that actually knows what he is doing. So just imagine, I'm going to explain the stance of Allam al-Hilli, and then I'm going to continue with more evidence to that, and then we'll give you some more examples. So why, and this question, I always bring this question in my classes with my students, especially in Mashhad. So they have to have a valid reason to fabricate a narration. So if this narration is not about imamate, is not about something sensitive politically, why they have to fabricate such narration? Pray as you see me praying. It's a very valid point, you know. So probably people or scholars like Allam al-Hilli saw that narration is strong by itself. It's very meaningful narration. Even if the chain is not authentic, Allam al-Hilli himself authenticated that narration by his understanding of the essence of that narration. So why they need to fabricate? You know, sometimes we can see the point, but sometimes we see no points in fabrications. So then we have to study the narration better and more thoroughly, and etc. And the second point that I want to bring, because why I'm focusing on this, because I saw Ayatollah al-Ulama, Sayyid Muhammad al-Rouhani comes to this topic in his classes, I'm not saying in his fatwa. And he says that we don't have any evidence, valid evidence, that can prove that bay'ul gharar is invalid. Because the only thing that we have is what? This narration, naha an-nabiyyu an bay' al-gharar, that the Prophet prevent us from selling and buying or doing a trade that might be considered as a vague trade, you know. And because this narration's chain is not authentic, then it's okay. If you go to the shop, you see a bucket of rice. I want this. How many kilos is that bucket of rice? I don't know, I don't care, I want it for $20. He says, he claims that this is not gharar. And he says we don't have any evidence, so it's not gharar because I can see it. Yes, I cannot weigh it with my eyes, but I can see it. And the other point is It's not gharar because I can see it. And even if it's gharar, we don't have any valid evidence stating that you're not allowed to buy such thing or to do such trading. So what we can say in reply to his evidence, and he was a very accurate person, to be honest. When we see the case with more panoramic vision, we can say that there are too many other narrations talking about that. For instance, why you're allowed to taste a fruit to buy it, so you can know whether it's bitter, sour, or sweet. You know? So, are you allowed to buy the milk of a cow before they milk it? Milk the cow? Are you allowed or not? Okay. But what they say, we have that in narrations and fatwa of fuqaha as well. If you buy a bucket of milk alongside with the milk that's not yet milked till now, then that mu'amala, that trading, would be considered as legit trading. And Imam explains that because at least, he says, at least you have something. So you're not paying for nothing. You're paying for the bucket of what? Of milk. Alongside with something else.
يعني empty buckets,
لا. Full.
milk.
Hey, full. مثلا 2 kilos of milk alongside with the milk that's still not milked of the cow. You're allowed. We have that in our narrations. So, you know, what I'm trying to say, how we can understand there is no gharar here, because something is specifically known by us. So actually, I can say, okay, let me rephrase the narration. Probably, it means that you're actually buying that bucket. And the rest is a gift, something like that. So you know what you're doing.
Not the milk itself.
Sorry?
So not the milk itself.
You're not, the milk, not the milk of the bucket, and the bucket. But not the milk that's not yet milked from the cow.
So you can't buy ahead, you could say, you're saying.
You know? لا الحليب اللي بعده ما عاصري من البقرة ما تقدر تشتري بدون ما تشتري في شيء معلوم من يمه. لازم يكون شيئين. فالإمام يقول أنت ما دام as long as you're buying the bucket or the pod or whatever of the milk, you're buying something. You know what you're buying. So, and some other narrations. Are you allowed to buy a bird in the sky? No. You're not allowed. But you can buy that bird alongside with a pencil. So you're paying for something that is known. So when we put all of these narrations next to each other, we can understand that it's not a single narration, which is نهى النبي عن بيع الغرر. Rather, we have a bunch of narrations. And I believe that all of those narrations are bringing one meaning, one point. That the trade should be done on what? Something that is known. Something. Somehow is known to us. According to us. And according to people.
So is it because that person who is selling it isn't really possessing it?
No, he possesses it.
Like, for example...
He doesn't have it, but it belongs to him.
It belongs to him, but he's not in possession of it.
Yeah, because that's gharar. Exactly. So you're buying nothing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Can he give it to you? No. Is he sure that he can? No, he's not sure. It's a bird in the sky.
So what if you do a custom order for something, like a hat, for example, that hasn't been made yet, but you told the guy to to make.
That's okay. That's okay. Because you ask him for this specific, thing that's known, and that's accepted.
Mm.
So that means like trading futures like shorting and longing is haram.
What?
Forex.
يعني
Is it
stocks
forex?
مثلا
Yeah, so like you.
أسهم وهاي الأشياء.
No, that's okay.
No, but there's a specific type of stock trading. Like for example, I don't know how it works exactly, but you would bet on the stock, for example, to fall in price in a week, and you buy it at that price in a week.
That's okay.
It's not betting.
That's not a problem. I don't think there's a problem. So let's see some of the narrations.
Like currency.
Ama hamar da being color روشن کنین در ببند. تا رد میشن مردم و اینا.
Yeah.
But you're buying it ahead of time? Is that what you're saying?
کلرش بکن.
That's what sure means. But the thing
You
is,
buy
like,
at a
you
reduced
know what you're
price.
buying. That's the problem.
Yeah. So
No, but I'm
you
better.
don't know what you're buying.
Yeah, but the price is different.
It doesn't matter.
It's not about the price. It's like you're supposed to know. For example, if
Alright,
you're selling
I'm
this
done.
thing, you're supposed to know what the phone is.
So let's see some of the narrations. Okay.
So before you read the narrations, what if was it Muhammad or Ahmed that said custom made stuff? Yeah. If something's custom made, but the person's never made it before, and he's trialing it on you.
That's something else. But let's not ask very specific questions. Let's understand the spirit of this fundamental. وعن أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام, he was asked عن بيع السمك في الآجام, selling the fish in fish farm. واللبن في الضرع, milk before it gets milk. والصوف في ظهور الغنم, wool that's still on the sheeps. قال هذا كله لا يجوز. All of that is not allowed. Why? لأنه مجهول غير معروف. Because you don't know how many kilos. Probably you're buying 1 kilo or 10 kilos. So يقل ويكثر وهو غرار. It might be more, might be less than what you expect. So trading is not like opening the Pandora box. Why? It will have the smell of what? Betting. You got me? What is the problem? Trading is not betting. It's not gambling. Islam differentiates. So the main problem, this is how I feel, is that it shouldn't be even resembling the gambling. That's why it should be known.
Then what if you, like for example, the milk example in the narration, it has been milk, but you're paying the 2 liters. So you're going to get the 2 liters.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. But you say, I buy the whole milk of this cow. What do you mean?
Yeah.
How whole? Is it 10 kilos, 20 kilos?
Yeah.
We need to know. But this narration is in مستند الوسائل. Sorry.
So then,
مستدرك الوسائل. So probably the chain is not that strong, but Sayyid Abdullah al-Sabzawari brought it. Okay, the second narration,
it's not found in a classical book.
I need to check because Mustadrak al-Wasail, for me, you know my opinion about narrations. But even Ayatollah Sistani, when he comes to Mustadrak, he says, no, some of the narrations are authentic. Because the main book that Mustadrak has is Kitab al-Ash'ariyat. Kitab al-Ash'ariyat is one of the main book. And we have too many authentic narrations in that book. So it might be from there. So the second narration, when Imam alayhi salam says, Muhammad ibn al-Is, he says, I asked Imam Sadiq alayhi salam about a man bought things that should be tasted before he buys it. Is he allowed to taste it? Imam says yes. For instance, especially here, you know, the strawberry, the taste of strawberry here is different to the taste of strawberry in Brisbane. It doesn't have any taste here because of the heat. There, it has. Here you're eating the market of strawberry. It's not a strawberry. It has some taste of strawberry, but there you're eating strawberry. So you're allowed to taste it. حتى sample. This is the sample. This is the sample exactly. But Imam says, do not go and eat things that you don't want to buy. Yeah. ولا يذوقن ما لا يشتري.
Say the Najaf, they're just giving it out.
So this is the second narration. We have more narrations. Okay, so another narration, when Imam alayhi salam says, when you go to fish farm, you take few fish and you say, I buy them, sorry, there are 5, okay? Alongside with those, you're allowed. Imam says, في شراء الأجمة ليس فيها قصب إنما هي ماء. قال تصيد كفا من سمك تقول أشتري هذا منك هذا وما في هذه الأجمة. And whatever is in this pond. Okay.
That's if you take all the fish out, correct?
No, then you can take whatever you want.
No, I'm saying from the pond itself.
Yeah.
If you take all the fish out,
You're allowed.
and you tell the guy, I'll buy all these.
No. You take a bunch of them, few of them.
Yeah.
You say, I buy this. So you know it's 5 fishes, okay? And the rest.
But you don't know how much is.
That's okay. Because you know these 5. So you have something
Something
tangible and something that is known for you. So you're actually, as I said, you're actually doing your trading on these 5. And the rest are as a gift, whether you get it or not. I can remember this theory is one of our scholars' theory. This is how I understand these narrations. So you're buying those 5s. Said, give me this, please. I think you just turned on the heater.
So that second pond.
Thank you, Muhammad Allah.
Was it?
Now,
The second pond is a mystery amount.
it's the Pandora box.
See, if,
Yeah, the Pandora box.
if everyone knows, for example, if the seller actually knows there are 100 fishes in the pound,
Yeah, that's okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Then you can just sell
Yeah.
the whole thing.
But you can't buy a fish alongside with a crocodile because you don't know what's going on beneath the water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good question Mubin has.
I could, for example, I do auctions for storage garages that just have anything in them.
You don't know what's
You don't know what's in them.
That's a
But
problem.
you're buying the storage.
That's a problem.
You're buying, so
Yeah, but say technically. You're
Technically,
buying the
that's a problem.
storage area, but whatever's inside is a gift.
No, you buy the what?
The storage.
the storage room,
It's a
basically.
storage.
You buy the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you buy the room.
And
That's
then
okay.
whatever's in there comes.
That's
out.
okay.
You don't buy it. You buy whatever is in there. You don't buy
No.
the
So
storage.
you don't
Exactly.
buy the storage. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
You don't buy the storage. Why you have to buy the? But if you buy the storage, that's okay.
For
okay.
example, the unclaimed baggage.
As if I buy the house,
Mm.
I don't know what it is in the house, but I'm buying the house. Whatever is in it, it's for me.
So technically, any mystery item you're not allowed to buy.
That's the thing. If you buy a fish and you find a diamond in its stomach, it's yours.
But if he knows a couple of items in the storage, he could buy them and the rest.
Buy them, the rest, yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly according to these narrations.
There's no loophole for gambling.
How's the game?
Bro, it's so easy.
Okay, another narration في صحيح العيص أو في صحيح عيص. I asked Abu Abdullah عن رجل, about a man who has sheep and goats. Is he allowed to sell the milk without weighing them? Imam said, yeah. Yes. This is the narration that goes against those narrations. That Sayyid Abdul Aziz al-Zawari says, we cannot accept this narration. Imam says, yes, حتى تنقطع أو شيء منها. Yeah, you're allowed to buy it until they go milkless. But Sayyid Abdul Aziz al-Zawari said, no scholar issued a fatwa in accordance to this narration. So we cannot accept it.
ينحسب خبر أحد.
طبعا أحد هو أحد.
Say, what's this topic called?
وفي موثق سماعة سألته عن اللبن يشترى وهو في الضارع. Unmilked milk. Imam said no. Unless if you milk a bucket and then you're buying that bucket, and alongside with that you buy the rest over, whatever is left alongside with that. Okay?
So what about dates? I think there is a narration you could buy dates before even they are ripe.
You're allowed or you're not allowed?
Allowed.
Allowed? I can't. Yeah, that's probably it's different. We have to see the narrations. يمكن يكون حكم خاص أكو. البصر قبل أن ينضج maybe.
So what would you say to normal supermarkets? You don't know who the owner is. Like, for example, if you go to Woolworth, you want to buy some grapes. Are you allowed to taste them?
If they accept, yes.
Technically
But
speaking, they
I've
don't say
seen-
anything. But
No, but apparently, no, I'm not sure about Woolworth, but about food shops,
yeah,
I
food
see
shop,
that
they
they
will
allow.
allow.
Yeah,
Food shop, they will tell you to taste them.
but probably Woolworth they don't accept.
They don't.
Yeah. They are Woolies.
Put that sign anyway if they are not allowed.
Yeah.
Usually a sign. If there's
They,
no sign,
yeah,
that
usually
means-
they're gonna be sometime.
Yeah.
Because when you go to the fruit shops, they'll just give it to you somewhere in your hands. Like, here you go, taste it.
Gharar is
Unknown.
unknown. More?
Okay.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Obscure.
Okay, so what we can conclude is that we have too many narrations indicating that the trade should be known. What you are buying, what you are selling. At least partially. Okay, partial should be known. And probably when you say partially should be known, you're actually trading on what is known. And the rest is like the Pandora box. Or the what? Or a gift, and etc.
يعني سيد هاي المربوطة بالنية مثلا أنت تريد تشتري a gallon of milk زائد فد شي أنت نيتك تشتري بس الحليب.
It's not the niyyah. You are intending to buy both of them, but it should be known to you partially. So, at least you get something, you know? Because probably you buy that and you don't get anything because the cow dies, you know?
Yes, صحيح.
You didn't get
So
anything.
it doesn't all break down.
Yeah. Or you buy a bird in the sky. You can't buy a bird in the sky, you know?
Say, what about this? There are some car rental companies. They have a.
And you're not, by the way, they are the fastest car.
Huh?
Rental.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you step on it, it's not yours.
Yeah, so they have different car options like Corolla, whatever. Yeah, and then there's an option that says mystery car.
That's a problem
That's a problem.
Is it a problem for you to buy it?
for everyone.
Yeah, but like you know you're getting a car. You
No,
just
but-
don't know what car it is.
بس مو شراء
You
سيد.
know the properties or
Even
categories at least. You
This is
know,
why they say
it's
when
equivalent to that.
car rental
no, the mystery car is not equivalent. It's different. Sometimes they say, okay, it's either Mitsubishi or equivalent.
or equivalent or similar.
And when you go there, you need to sign, and they're gonna tell you it's this or that.
yeah,
So actually, gonna sign it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
That's
gonna buy
different.
On the car.
Mystery is different.
Mystery is different.
So you know where
You know when you this is what he was saying.
Okay.
صلى اللهم على محمد وآله الطاهرين.
Allah.
Allah.